This is the X Zone with Xhris, and today's true crime podcast will be on the disappearance of Michael Negrete, a UCLA student who disappeared December 10th, 1990. Now, before I get into the true crime, I would just like to say if you want to donate to the show, my cash app is GetXMoney09, and that helps out with advertisement, so I can push out advertisement. Because everybody and mama doing podcasts, but advertisement helps along with other things. So the cash app is GetXMoney09. So now the true crime podcast, the disappearance of Michael Negrete. His full name was Michael William Negrete, age 18. His nickname was Mike. Date of birth, March 25th, 1981. Hair color, brown. Eye color, brown. Race, Caucasian. But he looks like he's a mixture of Latino. Just throwing that out there, especially his last name, being Negrete. Michael was up until the early mornings of Friday, December 10th, 1990. Early morning in his dorm room of UCLA, playing online computer games. He was a freshman at the time of his disappearance. He got off at 3:40 a.m. and went out into the hall and spoke to his friend that he was playing the game against for a hot minute, and then he went back in his room on the 6th floor. He entered his room, and his roommate was already asleep, which got his roommate mad because he didn't check in or let him know that he was leaving. But red flags went off. And what next happened is uncertain. So what happened to Mike? All of his belongings, jacket, wallet, ID card, and shoes were in the room. At first he thought he had went home to see his parents. Miguel and Mary Negrete hadn't seen him either. Mike hadn't shown up to any of his classes. Both his roommates and his parents reported him missing. After Mike hadn't contacted any of his friends and family, police did a door-to-door search, but nobody has heard of Mike from him. There were lots of parties, and some of them he went to, but nothing got out of hand. After the Thursday party, he went back to his room to play games. So after that Mike left, and he didn't have a car, so public transportation. He didn't have a car, so public transportation or a friend would have to take him somewhere. But both friends and the bus drivers hadn't seen him. His mother, Mary, had said he was a great student who wouldn't skip class. He was a music major who played in a trumpet and a steady steel drum band, and he's had a scheduled practice with bass quintet. Garbage chutes were checked, bloodhounds and detectives came up empty. All 5 detectives started working full-time on his case. Everybody was handing out missing person flyers, but nobody came forward or mentioned Mike's whereabouts. Nobody had seen him. Nobody knew, just like he disappeared without a trace, pretty much. Next semester, his parents canceled his house, and fearing he wasn't going to come back, they moved out all of his things. His friends did a fundraiser concert, and more than 200 people came out. Then they raised money for a private investigator, which started. A private investigator was hired and came up with the same thing the police came up with. And they his parents put out a $5,000 reward on his whereabouts. His local band Island Fever also did put out a benefits concert in 2000. A year after Mike's family increased the bond, increased the reward money. He is suspected to be a victim of foul play, and at the end of the spring semester of UCLA, the police got a lead, and in July 2000, they got released a sketch of a white man around 35. He was 5'7" with a heavy build, wearing a gray jacket with turquoise lining. All of the students believed that he was not a student there. In November of 2000, students in the Hall campus who had lived in the Disappearance hall had called the police because they overheard somebody details about the case that wasn't publicly known. In that December, it was his first anniversary of being missing, and he was already declared most likely to be dead. Investigators said he was a kid who had no troubles. He was here today and gone tomorrow. It was reported that Mike recently got into drugs like ecstasy, but not a habitual user. His case is still open, but cold. It will be most likely start moving again if they find his body or if somebody come up with his whereabouts or what happened to him. You can contact the UCLA Police Department. You can contact LA Sheriff Department, or you can contact the FBI if anybody knows about Michael William Negrete, or AKA Mike. Now, this is all allegedly, but I saw on Reddit and other websites, because his brother also has a page that he came out with on Reddit in 2013, and then other people was doing clues, and that was students at that time that didn't know Mike, but just, this is all allegedly. Now, they were saying that he might have gotten picked up at the bus stop because the bloodhounds or the dogs, they traced him up to Santa Monica and some other street, La Cienega in Santa Monica, and that's where it stopped at the bus stop. So maybe somebody picked him up. They're saying that the police took his hard drive. They took his laptop, and then mysteriously all of his stuff on the hard drive disappeared. Maybe he could have been slanging, and they met up with foul play, and they wanted to stop that, or it would have interfered with his investigation. Since it was 1999, dating sites and all that wasn't, popping. That was only popping for like people that was 35 and under, like Christian Mingles, Live Links, Black People Meet, singlesmeet.com and all of that. And so for younger people, AOL and AIM was popping, and little blogs, and Craigslist, and Backpage. So they could have met somebody off of there to sell something. Maybe they robbed him and killed him and dumped the body somewhere. Also, they said he was just wearing khaki pants, I think a jacket, and he didn't have his shoes, but he could have had shower shoes. Now, some speculate that he might have been on the DL. He could have been meeting up for gay sex, man on man, sex. And they could have been taking drugs. And again, some foul play was happening. Maybe he overdosed. Maybe he got strangled. Because one guy said he does a no-call, something booty calls. Or those quick booty calls where you don't take anything with you. You just, because you don't want to get robbed. That was 1999. And he didn't have his car, so he didn't have a car. So he probably just, quickly dipped out and dipped in. It was supposed to be something quick, but it could have been met with foul play. That's a theory, but people just don't disappear. Their body goes somewhere. Even when we die, we have remains, which is what we have here, our bodies. So hopefully something come up. That was just my take. Again, that's all allegedly, not saying he was. You know, they saying some of the friends, they immediately stopped investigating after he went missing. Like 2 weeks into it, they stopped. So somebody ain't saying something. So I don't know. Somebody needs to say something. So that's my take on the disappearance of Michael Negrete. Like I said, if you want to donate to the show, my cash app is GetXMoneyOnline. Any comments, questions, concerns, you can leave them down below. If there's Spotify, I think you can still leave a comment, or anywhere you can hear my voice. If you can't leave a comment, stay in touch to all my social medias. This has been your boy Xhris with the X on True Crime. Until then, stay blessed, stay up. I'll talk to you later. Peace.